Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to use your initials, but anyway, I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you made a comment, I think, by email. I'm going to take a look at it right now. So you say, hello there, this is S. I'm going to just keep a period here and then say, you want to make sure when you're using the word since, it has been, you want to say almost a month since I mailed you regarding the TOEFL, sir. You need a period here. Maybe in the last test. And here you don't want to use the present perfect tense to talk about an action in the past. So you say, in the last test, I scored 79 with 19 in the listening and 18 in the speaking. So you had 19 in the listening section, 18 in the speaking section. And also your writing score isn't getting past the 21. You say, I desperately need your help for improving my score. I would put here, maybe use because. I've booked the slot for July 12th, nearly 20 days from now. You probably want to say to retake the exam. You know what? I think you're focusing too much on the TOEFL exam. Why not focus on your academic English language proficiency first? Build your English language abilities and then focus on the TOEFL exam. It's kind of like you're putting the TOEFL exam in front of your English language proficiency abilities. Anyways, so you say, I really hope, you probably mean to say here that this time will be sufficient for me to prepare and score above 80. So, if you want to make this a little more formal, you can say, therefore, I request you to provide some guidelines that could really help me in gaining a good score. Waiting for your response. Regards. All right, so we have a pretty good situation here. So really, I think what you have to do now is I would take a break from the TOEFL test, cancel it, and let's take a month or two for you to actually work on your academic English language abilities. That would be my recommendation. You seem to be in a really, really big hurry all the time with taking the TOEFL exam, but learning English doesn't work like that. You just can't learn it in 20 days, right? So I do have some recommendations of some things that you can do. Now, I'm going to recommend a 30-day TOEFL study guide for you. You need a minimum of 30 days. And of course, I cannot guarantee that you'll reach your goal because it may take you several months of following the steps in this video before you meaningfully, I think, advance your academic English language proficiencies. And guess what? What do you think is going to happen when you improve your English abilities? Your TOEFL score is going to get better. That's exactly what's going to happen, right? So here's my recommendation. Right now, for the next 30 days, I want you to practice reading for about 45 minutes a day. Okay, also each day you should practicing listening. You should be practicing listening for about 45 minutes a day. Now, as you do the reading and the listening practice, this has nothing to do with the TOEFL exam. You're not reading or listening to TOEFL lectures or materials, but you're practicing reading and listening materials in which you, not me, but in which you have an interest. You're going to be more motivated to continue to do the reading and the listening practice if you listen to things that you're interested in learning about in the first place. So for reading, I suggest newspapers, magazines, and longer books. Just find topics that you have an interest and start reading those materials every day for about 45 minutes. With listening, the best thing is English TV if you have it. I recommend news, documentary, history, and especially science programs. These things are going to be very, very helpful for you for your academic English language abilities. Now, as you're doing the reading and the listening practice, you should focus on note-taking. This is very important. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the most important things you can do for the TOEFL exam is to focus using your notes. Try to get down the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and listening passages. Your note-taking will not be good the first week, maybe not even the second week. But as you do the note-taking practice, you will get better at getting down the main points. Remember that you have to make very good use of your notes during the reading section of the TOEFL exam. It's important. Many of my students who get over 100, when they do the reading passages, they read each paragraph, they'll write one or two words that define or explain the key points in that paragraph. They put that down on a sheet of paper. So as they go through each reading passage for the TOEFL, they create what's called a mind map of the information. So then as they start answering the questions, instead of rereading the passage over and over, which you certainly don't have enough time to do, they simply look at the outline they've written down and use that so they can understand the organization of the reading passage, right? So note-taking is important. Now, as you do the note-taking, my fourth point here is I recommend that you write maybe 3 250-word summaries of the reading and listening passages. This is very important. I'll be honest with you. Your writing is not crossing the 21 mark for a lot of reasons, but you got a lot of sentence structure problems, sentence formation things, word choice problems. So as you do writing practice, you'll get better at putting things together and explaining things. You need more practice with that. So again, you're writing each week 3 250-word summaries. And this is based on your notes of the reading and listening passages that you're practicing. Now, you should also speak. How about this? You should give maybe 3 60-second oral responses, I think, of these reading and listening passages. So now what are you doing? You're actually doing reading and listening practice, but you're also using your notes to write and speak about that information. This is very, very helpful. Notice so far everything that I've given you here has nothing to do with my online course, has nothing to do with the TOEFL book, has nothing to do with any of that, but it has everything to do with your academic English language proficiency. You see, if you can build your academic English language proficiency, which means you get used to reading passages, you get used to listening to complicated ideas with lectures and such, if you're writing and speaking about this information, you are improving your English abilities. Basic with number 4 here, you're improving your integrated writing skills. With number 5, you're improving your integrated speaking skills. Of course, with 1 and 2, you're doing reading and listening practice, which is also good. Now, one other tip. If you don't have English TV, you can focus on the 3 following websites. There are 3 websites that will be useful for you. Again, they're free. They cost you nothing. Number 1, National Public Radio. Number 2, TED Talks. Number 3, Randall's Cyber Listening Lab. These 3 websites will also give you some really good practice. Now, the 6th thing, and my recommendation here is, because you need really about 5 points, right? So I'm going to recommend my 30-day TOEFL study guide. Now, keep in mind this. I have over 700 lessons to help you improve your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. I can also help you with your listening, reading, writing, and speaking abilities. My website basically has all of these lessons, gives you over 6 months of instruction that you can continue to study and learn and take practice tests, and it helps you to improve your academic English language abilities step by step. Now, the study guide is simply a suggestion of some specific lessons that you can focus on over the next 4 weeks in order to improve your academic English language abilities. All right, so here's my recommendation there. You're going to start going through those lessons. Now, I recommend, as you do each day, steps 1 through 5, my recommendation is maybe 2 hours daily. This gives you some general idea of how much time you should be spending here. So it's going to be tough. What I'm telling you is not easy. But step number 6, I recommend maybe 1.5 hours daily going through the lessons in my 30-day TOEFL study guide. So for you, I recommend following this over a minimum of 30 days before you can really expect meaningful results. That means I would postpone my TOEFL exam at least 10 days to at least give you 4 full weeks that you can spend going over and completing the steps in this video I've outlined for you. You can make progress, but it takes time. So here, 1 through 5, you're spending 2 hours every day. And then doing step 6, my 30-day TOEFL study guide, you are spending 1.5 hours daily doing that. I think by following these 6 specific steps, you should be able to improve your academic English language abilities. Now, if you need to, I already sent you a link to it, but right before you take the actual TOEFL exam, you might want to take a full-length IBT practice test so you can measure your progress, so you can see where you are. It's not going to be free. This practice test will cost you an additional $34 in addition to the $38 you're already paying to be one of my students, but I'm telling you, it is well worth the effort and investment in time and money to take that practice test so you can see where you are. And you can make some last-minute adjustments before you take the official TOEFL exam. And that's it. So these are my recommendations of how you can improve your score from 75 to 80. Remember, in not 20 days, but I think at least 30 days total you will need to spend following what I've outlined in this video for you to reach your goal. All right, thank you.